was the track Shake Those Blues, which appears on the band's 2015 album Live for Today, and another artist who's performing this weekend as well. Or New York's Donna the Buffalo, Elevation Inside the Intersection on Saturday night. That show starts at 8 p.m. with doors opening at 7. And if you go to the big list at localspins.com this week, you'll have a chance to win tickets to that Saturday night show. Ahead of that, it was the Grand Rapids singer-songwriter Cameron Blake and the track The Only Diamond, which appears on his 2017 studio album titled Fear Not. Cameron Blake plays the Listening Room in downtown Grand Rapids at 7:30 Saturday, a show that will include a robust cast of West Michigan musicians, including the singers in the Deborah Perry and Majestic Praise. And we got today's show started with the track Wheels Fall Off by the Grand Rapids rock band The Legal Immigrants, a song that's slated to appear on a new studio album the band hopes to release next year. But before that, The Legal Immigrants play the Pyramid Scheme in Grand Rapids tonight, along with Asphalt Flowers and Mac Saturn. The show starts at 9 p.m. Happens to be the hometown bon voyage for the Legal Immigrants, who depart later this month for their first tour of Australia, starting with a music festival in Brisbane on November 23. You can read more about that this week at localspins.com. We've got a band in the studio that released a new album earlier this year, performed last night in Grand Rapids at Founders Brewing. Welcome, Remnose, to Local Spins on WYCE.
Thanks for having us.
So we've got Marlon, Carson, Sam, and Alex in the studio. And because you guys are based in Ferndale and the Detroit area, some folks out there might not be real familiar with Remnose. So tell us a little bit about the genesis of the group and the direction of the music that you guys play.
Yeah, I'd say it very much started as like a singer-songwriter project. And Carson over here on the drums is my brother. And we played a lot just in our parents' garage as we were younger. And then a lot up north around the fire and stuff like that. So a lot of those vibes, and Alex has been with us for probably 4 or 5 years now, and Sam about 2.5 or 3. But we're all just best friends doing exactly what we want to do and trying to make a living out of it.
So it's interesting. I found your description of the band's music to be the spirit of Patsy Cline's backing band trapped in Detroit and planning its escape to northern Michigan. I guess there's sort of this Americana alt-country rootsiness to the music. And where and when did that all happen in terms of acquiring a love for that music?
It's funny. You guys probably have never heard that description before.
No, that's the first time.
Yeah, Ryan wrote that the other day. It was really good, though. I would say I think like with us we're maybe a bit of dreamers and really like we draw a lot of inspiration from being up north. I mean, before that description, we described ourselves as 4 wannabe Yoopers, and I think just fireside jams and sunsets, on the water and stuff like that. It's just always been an inspiration for me for writing and just in general. It's just. We try to spend as much time up there as we can, and we feel like we're ourselves when we're up north, and it's fun to try to bring that down into a city aspect. Being in Detroit, Hamtramck, Ferndale, all that stuff, and to bring up north to the city is kind of what we're going for.
A lot of backyard bonfire parties.
Yeah,
Lots.
that sounds great. Well, let's let the audience decide for themselves what you guys sound like. What are you going to play first here for us?
We're going to do a tune called Only Kids that it was on our latest release here called Waiting on the Wind. We released in June, and we recorded it down the street at Stonehouse Studios. Rest in peace. It's no longer with us, but...
Well, it's great to have you guys here. Here we go. Remnose for Local Spins on WYCE 88.1 FM.
decide this or that way. My feelings lie sadly, but bring your head to my window. I'll sing you sad innuendos. Yeah, I don't see a way over this. I'm over it. No, there's gotta be a way over this. We're only kids, only kids. So I'm in a rut, in the same old. I settle up, slip on my raincoat, move over clouds. I'm coming for you. I'm thinking loud to warn you. I don't see a way over this. I'm over it. No, there's gotta be a way over this. We're only kids, only kids.
Remnose here for Local Spins on WYCE. The Detroit area band is in Grand Rapids this week. I'm curious in terms of the plan for this band coming up in the next few months and maybe into 2020. You released an album, obviously, earlier this year. What do you guys want to see for Remnose happening here over the next, maybe in 2020?
Definitely a big part of the plan is being over here in Grand Rapids more, and trying to kind of crack over on the west side of the state here. We love it in Detroit, and we do pretty good over there, but yeah, there's a lot of things happening in Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, even Chicago, Indianapolis, things over in this side of the Midwest that we want to crack into more. As far as a folk scene goes, there's really not so much of that going on in Detroit. I mean, it's cultivating, but it's still pretty new. It feels like over there. A lot of really great music in Detroit, no doubt. But yeah, we want to kind of expand out of Metro Detroit area, and see what's happening over here on the west side of the state, and release hopefully a new EP in the spring, sometime 2020, and get some new music out there, and yeah.
Do some tours.
Yeah, do some tours. Keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, there's definitely developed quite a rootsy folk rock scene here in the Grand Rapids area with a lot of bands. In fact, some bands from Detroit, like Brother Elsie, that have moved over here, that have sort of established themselves here too as well. So talk a little bit about the album that you recorded this past year. Was there a particular theme behind this particular recording? I mean, did you record it over, I mean, were these songs that were written over a long period of time, or was it something you guys put together specifically for this project?
Yeah, Marlon is constantly creating and writing new songs, so it's always kind of a treat for us and the rest of the band just to kind of see what he brings to the table, and then we get to fill in the blanks, if you will. I mean, the songs can be great just on their own, but it's really nice to kind of build these songs up. We partnered with our friend Josh, like Marlon said, was at the Stonehouse recording, and that was a really fun time recording it. We kind of took an entire weekend, 4 days, and just went in there and sat down and no breaks, just kind of cranked it out. And I think that's kind of our trying to be that recording process for the next one too. Just come in, knock it out. It's very concise. And
yeah. So the name of the album was "Waiting on the Wind." I'm curious, was there an overarching theme to this collection?
I think for the most part, I mean, "Waiting on the Wind" is kind of the analogy of just waiting for things to happen for you instead of taking action, and that kind of went in every facet of life as far as relationship goes, and as far as, you know, politics go these days, and even just like as simply as like music goes for us personally, you know, as far as, hey, I would love to do this as a living. What do you have to do to make that happen, or are you just waiting on the wind for things to fall in line for you?
Right.
In every facet of life, like even be it your relationship, where whatever with anybody, with your job or whatever, are you just waiting on the wind for things to line up, or are you doing something to make that happen for you? So it just felt like the theme of the album as a whole, and maybe every song doesn't relate to it, but certainly that's kind of been the main theme of it.
Right. So what else are we going to play this morning?
We're probably going to play "Waiting on the Wind." I forgot my capo. We were going to play Greenland.
The capo situation. We've run into that before, actually, where it's like, I think one time we like wrapped a bandana around the guitar and somehow made it work.
Yeah. We really wanted to play another one for you, but I forgot my capo. I don't know.
We had a good time at Founders. I'm sure it's sitting on the floor over there.
Yeah, we had
Somebody,
a really
if you found
good
a capo at Founders, please. We know it's Marlon's over here, so do not.
I'm like, is it in my? Oh, it's in my back pocket. We can do Greenland. I found it.
There we go. See, we were going to accuse someone of ripping it off, but no, he's actually got his.
God, I'm losing my mind.
And that is how good of a night it was.
That explains it.
Sure is good coffee.
Yeah, so this song will be called Greenland here.
All right, here we go once again for Local Spins on WYCE. We've got Remnose, the track Greenland from their most recent album, correct?
Yep. It's just the internal pride. something I need in them. So let it flash through my eyes. What I'm feeling inside. Get me out of their side. This doesn't make me right.
Yeah. Remnose here on WYCE 88.1 FM, playing live here in Studio X. They performed last night at Founders Brewing. And I understand, Marlon, you're actually playing a Daniel Johnston tribute show tonight. Is that true?
Tonight, yeah.
What's that all about? You gotta fill me in.
Well, so, after Daniel Johnston passed, I think about 2 months ago now, my buddy was helping put together a pretty big list of people doing Daniel Johnston songs. Anna Birch is doing it. Matt from Frontier Ruckus is playing it. Craig Brown from the Craig Brown Band is playing it. So quite a few big names on it, and I was lucky enough to get asked to do 2 songs tonight. So I get to do 2 Daniel Johnston tunes once we get back to Detroit, if we ever get back to Detroit. The beer is so good here, it's hard to believe.
Well, that's true. That's true. You are right there. Well, thanks, guys, for making the trip. This is great. You got to stay in touch with us here in Grand Rapids as well. Let us know when you're going to be back in the area to perform or whatever. Good luck in 2020 as well. I always ask folks to come into the studio to pick another band or another artist that they love, and I particularly appreciate it when a band comes in and names a artist that I've never heard of before. So tell us a little bit about your selection, your musician's pick of the day.
We chose the Drinkard Sisters. They're like, I would say, our favorite group that we play with. We ask them to play with us whenever we do a release or anything like that, and just try to be around those people as much as possible. They're just great people. Me and Carson are brothers. They're sisters, so we have that. Right. It's a very family vibe with them, and yeah, we've just known them for quite a while now, and they're also cultivating a little bit of the folk scene there in Detroit, so there's a lot to bond with over that. But just extremely talented songwriting, and their harmonies are out of this world, and they deserve as many shout-outs as they can get in any situation. So we try to, and whenever we play anywhere or have an opportunity to say something about another band, it's always the Drinkard Sisters. They're amazing. Check them out if you can. Also, Caitlin, who does the majority of the writing, but not all of it, is going to be on Jeopardy.
Wow.
In December.
No kidding.
So,
well, that's definitely something to look out for.
That's something for all of Michigan to cheer for. Caitlin Drinkard, Jeopardy, December. Here we go.
Wow.
I'm making T-shirts.
We learn something new every day here at WYCE. This is great stuff. Well, thanks, guys, Remnose, for being in the studio. And this is indeed the Drinkard Sisters being played for the first time here for WYCE. Apples and Oranges on 88.1 FM.